New York City. The Big Apple attracts millions, but can also be fraught with danger and violence. Here we found the home to a self-defense system which has been developed to use on the streets of any bustling city. This is Professor David James. He teaches Vee Arnis Jujitsu. It's brutal but effective.
Vee Arnis Jujitsu is the most direct street self-defense system that I believe is available. The system was founded by Professor Visitation, better known as Professor V. One of his goals was to make sure that the average man, the common guy, the non-martial artist, everybody could have a way and a method of learning self-defense without necessarily being a martial artist.
The system's made up of Jiu-Jitsu, Filipino stick and knife fighting, and Thai boxing, and can be learned in a short amount of time.
This system is very unique. It's unique in the way of it's quick, because you don't spend 10 years here to become the grandmaster, to become the black belt so you can be proficient in the street. You be proficient here. Give me 3 weeks of your time. Give me a month of your time. I definitely know I can teach you things that you didn't know. I don't care what level of training you walk through the door with. You don't have to be an athlete here. You could be a couch potato. Your typical guy is sitting out eating popcorn and chips all day long and you enjoy your beer. One thing about this system that's very unique is that I tell people, keep all your bad habits and come and train anyway. People automatically feel that when they join a school and a martial arts club that they have to become this David Carradine character. They have to become a monk. They now have to stop drinking and stop socializing and stop going out and start eating pure and all that, start thinking pure. That's a bunch of nonsense. It has nothing to do with learning how to defend yourself. When the man grabs you and aggressively pulls you towards him, your body goes in. When your body goes forward, my hands are here. His two hands are here. These hands are what we call dead hands. He can't take these hands off and hit me. So it gives me enough opportunity to do this, which is projecting the head backwards, sticking my thumbs in his eyes. That allows the groin coming forward. Now I can knee the groin. Now when the groin is shot, the man presents this to me. Now I can knee him to the face, or I can strike the shin, take the shin out, immediately take him down. Next point, boom, stomp the head, look around, I'm out of there, I'm gone. People do not understand the difference between self-defense and fighting. Bang! Self-defense is not fighting. Self-defense is stopping a threat. When you identify the threat, you stop it, you eliminate it before the person gets a chance to get the upper hand on you. That's self-defense training. That's what Vee-Jitsu is. Touch! That first touch shocks the man, which is palm shot to the face. We touch high. That controls the high strike. We touch low to control the low strike. So we got high and a low concept. Then we touch high again. High! That will then send the body a different message, where the punishment now, the pain is going from high to low to high. His attention span is high. His hands are right here. Once again, because I kicked him high, his body's shot up, which allows me then to get in, apply my choke. I could choke this man out from this point. I could grab his eyes and rake his eyes with my fingers. At that point, I could sit here and smash the back of his leg down, take him down violently, and then stomp on his head. We use the arnis, which is the stick and the knife part of our system. Touch, he will touch, pass, I'll redirect it, and I'll redirect it. And then the Thai boxing is the punching and kicking part of our system. Because when you hit a point where a self-defense situation starts to escalate into a fighting situation because it just got out of control, you have to have certain skills now. Where the person is pushing you, touching you, poking you, here. So now, when he moves, I change the focus. He's no longer looking at me. So if he's not looking at me, he can't see the next strike, which is here. He can't see the next strike, which is here. He can't see the next strike, which is here. I will take up a garbage can and hit you with it, if I could. If I'm in the midst of combat with you, we're in the midst of a situation, and you don't notice the ashtray on the table that's made out of maybe steel or maybe a marble ashtray, and I do, that's Vee-Jitsu. I'm taking that and cracking you with it, because that will control your focus. By doing this massive repetition and doing it, I promise you, when it comes time for you to react, your mind will go blank, you'll black out, you won't remember a thing, but as soon as the person holds you or touches you or grabs you into that same type of situation you're more familiar with, the same hole you felt, the same amount of force you felt before, you spark right into action.
This is a brutal, no-holds-barred approach to traditional street fighting. Dirty techniques such as groin kicks, biting, and eye gouging are readily employed during fight situations.
So I want to take my finger, put it in his nose, and rip his nose off his face. That's my choice. What I do, for most people, look very violent. We're teaching somebody how to stop someone from hurting you. And if we have to do that and meet the level of the mindset of the person who's trying to hurt you, then so be it. You know, because there's no such thing as effortless self-defense.
What you just got through viewing was practical, street, reality-based self-defense. The system is called Vee Arnis Jujitsu School of Self-Defense. This system is an easy system. It's a very practical system, very straightforward system, no nonsense. Organize what you do so you have a checklist, state of readiness, because you have to get ready when you're in a situation. State of explosion, and whatever you're going to do, you explode onto the individual. State of readiness, state of explosion, state of control. Interrupt the vision, interrupt the breathing, interrupt the balance. People always ask us, Dave, what's the difference between you and everybody else? We teach you how to defend yourself. We don't teach you how to fight. You can learn how to fight and have no concept of self-defense. And people say, huh? Well, what are you talking about? If I know how to fight, I know how to defend myself. No, if you know how to fight, you know how to fight. What do you do when a guy grabs you like this, has you right here, up against the wall, and blade is in your throat, in your head, BSing around now? You're gonna come up with some fancy martial arts move? When you have good understanding of self-defense, and you have a good understanding of body mechanics, you don't wanna fight. A good self-defense practitioner is not a good fighter. You make a mistake here, the knife is in your throat, the blade is in your throat. You can't afford to mess up. If you try to do some fancy move, some fancy counter, you just got stabbed to death. But when you get into this situation and the guy's getting in front of you, psychologically, he's trying to break you down, you have no concept of how to deal with it. You're cursing at me, you're yelling at me, you're staring at me eye to eye, you're intimidating me. So you're trying to break me down psychologically, so I have no will whatsoever. I can't react, or if I do react, I react hesitantly and slowly. And when you hesitate, you lose. We teach you how to overcome all of those things. But most martial arts schools, they don't teach you none of those things. They don't even talk about it. So we make sure we have a checklist for you to run down so you can follow a checklist so you understand what is being done to you and what you are doing. You got to understand the 10 commandments of self-defense. You got to understand how to talk to this man. You got to understand the element of surprise. You got to understand starting from a non-threatening manner. Because while I'm talking to him, while I'm telling him about my family, and while I'm telling him about my kids and wife, I'm going to attack him. You got to evaluate the situation. How many people am I dealing with? I start grappling with you. Along comes your friend, start stomping me out or stabbing me in my back because I'm down there wrestling with you. I was too easy and too eager to put it into a fighting situation. Watch my back. Okay, who's next? I lay him down, nobody's there. Just relax. The 3-foot rule is the distance that realistically you can do me harm. I'm beyond the 3-foot rule. I don't have a chance. I don't have a chance of trying to disarm, try to do anything. The man's gonna blow my head off. But if he steps up into me and tell me, yo, I'll put a bullet in your head, now he broke the 3-foot rule. Now I know because he did this, I can move and I can react. How do you get a chance to do all your karate, all your jujitsu, all your kung fu, all your boxing? How do you actually get a chance to apply this stuff? Be humble. Show the person that you want nothing at all, no kind of resistance. You don't want no trouble. Start from a non-threatening manner. If I don't start from a non-threatening manner, I'm never, ever, 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 ever going to be able to defend myself properly. Eye-to-eye contact, we call it controlling the focus. First thing a person want to see if you got any heart, if you're a punk or not, they try to stare you down. So they eye-to-eye contact. And if you can't look at them in their eye and you drop your head or you bow your head, you look to the left or right, first thing they say to themselves, good, I got one. I got a soft person. I got a sucker. I got a punk. Get two dogs together. They'll start looking eye to eye. The weaker dog will drop his head, fold his tail, and look away. If you understand motion causes motion, if you understand that principle alone, will get you in and out of a self-defense situation quicker, faster. This motion caused that motion. This motion caused that motion. This motion caused that motion. I can move faster forward and he can move backwards. This motion caused that motion. Once you no longer appear a threat to the individual who's in front of you, you will catch this individual off guard. You tell him, listen, I got money. Do you want the money? Oh, can I have my credit card? He said, give me everything. You catch him while he's answering you in transition. The element of surprise. Listen, I ain't got a problem with you. You see? He never seen that coming. If I beat like this, see all that space in between? That's striking from a further point. But if I did this, that you don't get a chance to regroup because I'm striking from the closest point. I block it out for, look at my hand. It's right here. Why do this? Or why try to do this? When here, as he's swinging, this is right here. Striking from the closest point. Finger, palm, punch, hammer, knee, shin, kick, elbow. And I'm moving with every limb and every tool that I have in my body and on my body to use against you. I'm going to use, but I'm going to strike from the closest point. Strike, but keep his focus in a certain direction, which is off of you. So as he's pushing up, I am going to pull one hand down, stick one hand in to change his focus. That would allow you to get 2, 3, 4, 5 more strikes in because you changed the focus. I'm stopping the threat, changing the focus. Strike! I'm striking with the finger. I use finger, palm, hammer. Because once I get your focus off of mine, I can do whatever the hell I want to do. If I hit you high, hit you low, hit you high, hit you low, hit you low, hit you high. The high and the low concept. Now that I drop down low, he's hitting low. Hammer hit. I'm doing what we call being generous with the pain. Now pain compliance. Put your hand behind your back, cross your legs, and the man will comply with what I'm saying because of the pain. And if I can teach anybody out there anything, please let me teach you this. I can move faster forward than you can move backwards. How does that aid you? How does that help you in a self-defense situation? If I go first and I ram you, just shove it, you go, no! I have you going off balance. I have more coordination, more speed, more ability, more agility going forward than you have going backwards. When you use the 10 Commandments of self-defense, you don't use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You use 5, 1, 6, 4, 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. You mix it up. If you just remember some of the points and some of the principles in which I spoke to you about, you can actually go out there with no practice, just basic will to survive, self-preservation. And you can say, you know what, I remember that guy saying, interrupt the vision. Okay, when they interrupt the vision, then now something like move him, interrupt the balance. And then now interrupt the breathing. If you remember those 3 things, state of readiness, state of explosion, state of control, you're in it, and you're out of there. And guess what? You wasn't a black belt. You didn't take 20 years of training to do this. The whole principle and concept behind our system, the system of Vee Arnis Jujitsu, you have to be able to learn this in the shortest period of time possible. We can guarantee 100% guarantee a student that you train with us as opposed to anybody else in a shorter period of time. We will teach you how to successfully defend yourself better than any other system on the planet.
Sit there, be quiet. You don't want to see my people get violent. Sit there, be quiet. These got guns in the club, don't try it. My agenda, no retreat, no surrender. You hold the belt, but big as the top contender. Return to sender. Body parts dismembered. If the track was a gap, then my voice would be the trigger. Words is the bullets. Ain't afraid to pull it. No matter where I'm at, I'm repping.